Alrighty, welcome to Coprolalia, my fellows and felluses. That was meant to be like the female version of fellas, but I think we've already searched this on the podcast. There is no female version of fellas.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is fellas just for everybody?
Female equivalent of fellow. Yeah, the link is even like already clicked, so I've already fucking gone down this path. Yeah.
Anyway,
Sistren is the female equivalent of brethren. Alright.
Okay.
Brethrens and sistrens.
Welcome to another episode of Coprolalia. You will be able to enjoy the previous episode once this one goes up. Because we forgot to upload it last time. Because we're mad profesh. This show is all about us going on a journey to search for content.
To make content. Well, in fact, we here at Coprolalia, we like to ask the question: what is content? Where does it come from? What can we do to stop it?
I was thinking about this a couple of days ago, because obviously trying to delve more into the world of making content and stuff like that. I mean, I've always made content of some description, but making more content in the online realm.
Yeah.
And just such a bizarre thing, such a bizarre new construct of like content just has very little definition now. And it's almost impossible to judge what's going to work and what isn't going to work.
Yeah, sometimes some of the meme pages they like to try and get extremely meta, and sometimes they'll just post a blank white image with in all lowercase letters, it just says meme on it, and that's it. That's the meme, that's the content. And you're totally right. Like, fucking anything is content. A little tiny box, like a 4x4, 4 pixel by 4 pixel box with like a D in it, that's content.
Yeah, it's it makes it really hard, like when you think like, I want to start doing something, I want to start doing a podcast or a YouTube show or fucking whatever, or a blog, and alongside the regular fear of like, am I actually going to be good enough, or am I going to be able to add anything, you also have to work out what the fuck you're making while you make it. And like, if it is content, and it's just
that's true.
Boggles my mind when I go, because if I look for inspiration, if I go and see, all right, what else is happening? What are some other podcasts or vlog channels or fucking whatever, and I watch them, and I don't see where the content is. I don't see what people are tuning into, but I also am watching it and continue to watch it. So anyway, I don't know. So is this content? Are we making content?
I believe so.
It's up to Greg, I guess, to decide.
Yeah. In fact, I don't know if he's sent us any more mail this week. That's a bit of an oversight.
Probably because we didn't upload the previous episode. He hasn't listened to it yet.
I fucking dropped the ball there, I think. Sorry, Greg.
Alright.
Someone's mowing just outside the house, which is really fucking shit timing.
Well, I can't hear it.
Oh, you can't hear it? Okay, no worries then.
Sweet.
Just ignore that I said that.
Anyway. I guess we just have to keep making until we're baking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. For all you vegetarians out there, that's pork products.
Alright, let's just dive on into a quick little topic.
Jive on in. I like that.
Jive on in. That's when you jive, samba into a topic, and you start waltzing with the other people who are part of the topic. Anyway, so I was watching some videos about the way ideas of other people are kind of constructed these days. Oh fuck, here. Sorry, really poorly phrased. Let me start that again.
No worries.
The way we think of other people, the way we think of other groups of people, rather.
Oh yeah.
and also how fake news works to promote these ideas of other people that we have.
I like that fake news is just a thing now. Like it's an accepted term, and it has like it's a very serious meaning now. And isn't that interesting? Like we used to just ignore journalists and newspapers that just did shitty fact checking. We used to just think it was like poor professionalism or whatever. But now it's like you actually have a business that creates fake news, that deliberately lies.
Yeah.
Usually for satire reasons.
Well, that was the kind of point of this article or this video I was watching about it, was that those fake versions of reality are much more entertaining than actual reality. And so those get put up to the top of your newsfeed and or top of your wall or fucking whatever, right?
Yeah.
Because that stuff trends, because it's a dramatized version of reality. So when
yeah, you're right. That's a scary fact.
Yeah, and that was the point that this guy was. This was what was the channel called? Doesn't matter. I'll give you a link that you can put into the bottom of this video because it's a really great channel.
Do his other videos include the JFK assassination conspiracy and 9/11 was an inside job?
I don't think so. Oh, I can't fucking read. Veritasium. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, we'll
Science
be able to
channel.
find it. That's
amazing.
That's
I've got it up. I've got it up. I'll link it to you. Anyway,
phonetically spelled and everything. Yeah.
The scary thing about it is that those more shocking, those more dramatized, extreme versions of ideas get put to the top of our pages, get put into we see those first. And if you're not vigilant enough, you do take that as truth.
Yeah.
And then you yourself become part of the fake news. So an example of this that is scaring the shit out of me is something like right-wing extremists, or actually it's even better, the left versus right political system, or not system, but our beliefs, right? The right versus left political beliefs. When fake news rules simply because of algorithms essentially putting the most commented on and liked shit at the top, we think of the right wing or the left wing as these absolute extreme versions of their ideas, and that just pushes us further and further apart, because we actually aren't thinking about them in terms of people anymore or their actual logical ideas. We're thinking about them in these extreme versions of their ideas that
sensationalization
don't really exist in the real world, but exist. Yeah, sensationalize. Yes. And that's terrifying. That's been on my mind, and it scared the absolute fucking shit out of me, because it's driving a wedge between people.
Well,
it's terrifying.
I mean, from a philosophical perspective, I think there are as many truths and realities as there are people. That's that's just what makes sense to me. So fake news, literally any perspective that is not your own is like some version of fake news or fake reality, fake truth. So I reckon it's extremely easy for us to have just completely different views on the planet.
Yeah.
And I think society has realized that, and it's like entering this post. You hearing the lawnmower now?
No, I'm here. Just our soundtrack for today is so upbeat for what we're talking about. Continue on there.
Yeah, society's going post-truth. Like, the idea of truth is going to be it's going to be a hard-earned thing. If there'll be so many journalists who are full of shit that eventually we'll have like a few people we actually believe, and they will just always have, a forum, and they will be regarded as, informed, intelligent people. But that's what it's going to become. It's definitely going to become like a personality, like a cult of personality.
We actually have to seek out the truth now.
Yeah,
a lot of the time. Well, actually, I mean, I wouldn't say we always were told the truth anyway. It's not like I definitely would never have said that newspapers and TV news has always been truthful. Most companies have an agenda. Obviously, Fox News comes to mind.
Yeah, but I mean, once
about
upon a time that would
reactions
have been illegal to have an agenda.
I guess so. Yeah.
Sure.
Um,
They did it to themselves in that regard. Fox News fucked it up for everybody by being full of shit and having that be a legal representation of truth.
So, I mean, I don't want to just say that everyone needs to be hyper vigilant or just question everything, man. You gotta question everything you see. But I mean, I guess you do anyway. But
at least 9/11.
When we
question that shit.
When we're talking about other human beings and their versions of reality that they believe in and their ideas, unless you're actually speaking to the person you're talking about or to the people that you think you have an idea of, you probably are looking at the most extreme version of those people. That's why everyone thinks
that could be an individual thing, though. It depends on the personality of the person, whether they're going to inflate reality or not. Like, I think a lot of people interpret information and then, like, translate it into a Snapchat or into an Instagram post, and then in that process it becomes sensationalized and like, oh, I wanna get the followers and the likes and the however, if you are just having a conversation one-on-one, even still, actually, you want to tell a story that's like a lot of fun. Yeah. So I guess you're right. Like I think we naturally just sensationalize things in our heads to make it more interesting for others.
Yeah, I think it's realizing that reality is not as grand and as sensationalized as we would like, I think is hard for a lot of people to suddenly realize that their journey through life is not this epic grand tale. It's just a series of events. It's just a series of cause and effect, and it's not like this.
It is also an epic tale. It is also an epic tale. They just need to have the perspective necessary to see it that way.
Yeah. It's also like when people, I don't know, just people. This is just from my perspective, but when people start to dramatize all this kind of shit, then they start to take things like money, power. This is being very, very vague, I would say, but taking money and power and politics and blah 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 totally out of reality and thinking that it's all this big thing and government's out to get everybody and there's all these twisted dark
we
evil
like to simplify
behind everything.
Yeah.
It's just people. We're still just people on the planet, and I think like obviously groups can start to perceive reality differently, but I think at the end of the day, for the most part, it's not.
We're on our own.
Evil. It's not so much people being evil and being and people scheming against others and creating these great plans for the world or whatever. They're just either scared or fighting for survival or fighting for greed, and people are it's almost just like day-to-day shit, you know? It's just people want a good life or are scared of other people and want to fuck them off or just whatever. I don't know. I think a lot of this stuff can be boiled down to much simpler ideas than what is being presented.
Well, yeah. So if some person was just like, oh, I get it. Life's about just getting as much as you can and then enjoying yourself as much as you can. That, on an individual level, isn't going to do much harm. They're probably going to, I don't know, maybe occasionally cut in line for like food or something. They'll be a nuisance, but not that bad. Put him in charge of a country, and they are a fucking evil scumbag.
Yeah.
Dickhead.
Exactly. That's the thing. You're taking these simple ideas and blowing them totally out of proportion once you escalate to that kind of scale for that many people, then it looks evil, but it's still just
it's still the same thing that befalls all of us in some way.
They just want money. That's all it is.
Yeah, they're looking after themselves in a very over the top. You've already looked after yourself a long time ago. You just want more and more kind of bullshit way.
Though that said as well, I guess like once you get to a certain level of power and level of influence, then you do start to have your perception of reality twisted, and things start to seem grander to you.
Yeah, you don't see the effect of what you're doing. So if Donald Trump, there's enough empathy within anyone to just see the suffering they've caused a single other human being, and be completely like, you have a breakdown over it, like, oh, I've totally fucked this person's life up, it's all my fault. And try like the millions of people who are getting fucked over by America's government currently. He should be having breakdowns. He should just he should be like a blubbering mess with how terrible his ideas are, and the suffering that people are going through that he's doing nothing for.
So
that's
he has
just
to
personal belief, though. So
has to have a twisted perception of reality.
Yeah, he needs to be in this bubble of, you win some and you lose some.
Yeah,
which is sociopathic, I think, in nature. I think Obama made a joke about drones once. Like he someone brought up like, what something when your daughter starts dating, like what are you gonna do then? And he said, I just got one word for whoever dates my daughter: drones. Which is like the most poor taste.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, like so he's making light of something where like it's been documented he's killed innocent people with, Yeah. So it's like, why do we not care that we're hurting others? Like, since when is it okay for a human to hurt another just so directly and so chaotically and not have to be responsible for any of it?
You have to form some narrative in your head where that's not the case.
Yeah. So you literally have to be delusional to be the president of the United States.
I would say so.
God damn.
You have to be.
What is delusional? What is the right attitude?
I don't know. There's no answers. Man, I've been on this kind of trip. Been watching lots of social and political science videos and stuff like that, like looking into different things like anarchism and socialism and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's just fucking my brain up with obviously how many different views there are in the world, but just how strong these belief systems are. I don't know, like
people will fight for them.
Yeah. But just so much of it just seems so completely illogical or defeatist. That's another big one that's pissing me off, is a lot of them seem kind of based on a defeatist attitude towards life. This was a comment on a YouTube video, which it was just a comment, and he maybe was just trying to troll this, but I watched this thing about anarchy, and this guy explained what it actually is, and it's not like throwing fucking Molotovs and torches and shit in the street. It's not lawlessness or like shit like that. It's much more like socialism in a way. It doesn't matter regardless, right? It's all about equality and kind of bringing people together. And anyway, this person though in the comment section said, "Hey anarchists, have you guys ever considered human nature? Checkmate, anarchists." Right, well, fuck that guy and fuck that attitude. But so many people fucking have this attitude of just like, well, humans are fucked. We're gonna fuck it all up anyway. So we need rules and police and shit like this to. It's like, couldn't we just try to be above that, to be better? Like.
Some of us are already above that, and there are others who are ruining it for the most. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Don't just assume because we see some shitty people that are acting like animals
that like all humans have the same like submission to their own nature. Yeah, no, I don't believe it. Like, in fact, that's just someone trying to justify their own lower-minded ways of thinking. Like, other guys behave this way, so I'm just another one of those guys.
Yeah. That's how you fucking get to raping someone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is you say, like, I couldn't control myself. I had this sexual urge, so I fucking raped somebody. Like that? No, it wasn't.
All my friends have at least once messed up. You know, it's just a thing.
Yeah. No, it's not you being a guy. It's not you being an animal at heart like we all are. No, it's just you being a fucking bad person and not owning your own, having control of your own brain. Not having control. You just are lazy. You're just being lazy and not taking control of your own brain, which is just...
Yeah, horrible. I think a lot of people do actually just slip into autopilot and then
go, whoops.
They'd rather try and apologize to themselves later on than take the wheel and steer away from the crash.
Like, this is just who I am, man. There's nothing that I can do about it. It's like, well, there fucking is. And
there is, yeah.
There's always something you can fucking do. Like, it's not super easy all the time. It's like, you could say that to drug addicts as well. Like, you know, I've just got a predisposition to being an addict, and there's nothing I can do about it. Well, no, I know it's hard, but don't say that. Don't just say that I'm lost to my own nature. Like, that's... I don't know. That's really harsh, and I wouldn't... it depends on each individual. I'm not going to say that, like, all addicts just need to get a fucking control of themselves. But you see what I'm saying?
There are different kinds. Yeah, there are different kinds of, I guess, I want to say, natures and controls over yourself. So, like, muscle memory and stuff like that, stuff that isn't conscious. Is an interesting one. Like, I've found that if it's through muscle memory, I can learn something extremely well. But asking me to be conscious of all the individual parts that taught me that ability, I can't.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Music is a big one for me that I cannot fucking understand the theory behind a chord or anything like that. But once I can get it, I can hear it, I can make sense of it in my brain, but to actually, like, understand the systems, just kind of, you know. Anyway.
And
so yeah, one thing. So this is I was just gonna kind of lead this into going into a bit more depth with this idea that a lot of people say we're still animals and revert back to human nature, and it's just like I think we're at a point now when we are kind of deciding our own evolution through social music through like social change and technology. We are actually kind of deciding our own evolution. So we're changing the way we think and the way we operate, the way society works.
Yep.
So to just say, like, oh man, it's just human nature that we all do this stupid shit. Well, you need to keep up. You have the ability now to choose your own evolution, and that's the most exciting thing that could ever be. I think that we're starting to be able to almost construct ourselves, to craft ourselves.
Yep.
And it's fine to understand your feelings, to understand that human emotion that you feel, the instincts, but to just let those take control is absurd. And we've discussed this before about rape. I can't remember which one it was, but yeah, just people.
Where did we come to on the issue? Were we for or against rape? I can't remember.
I think one of us started on the fence, but we brought them over.
I have a quote here.
Yep.
Man cannot remake himself without suffering, for he is both the marble and the sculptor. What do you think of that?
I like that.
Yeah.
Sounds good. I think that's helping my point, right?
Yes.
If it's not, I don't like it. If it is, then I do like it.
If not raping someone is to carve a little bit out of yourself, go for it. Do it.
Yeah. Fucking. Yep.
Yeah.
That's like, I mean, not to say that I spend all this time trying to fucking, like, not to say that I'm like a sculpted version of myself.
You are.
But it's always been a big part of my existence is to try and analyze what I'm doing and work at it. Still very young, so there's a lot to be done. But I think I've definitely done more work than a lot of people my age, and
yeah,
it's great. It's the
I
best
like
thing
it.
you can do.
Yeah, I
is
feel
to
accomplished.
work at those things.
I've sculpted myself. I've spent a long time sculpting. Yeah.
There was even a time I remember in high school when I was getting really stressed about something. I can't remember what. I think it was just being stressed at high school, and I had like migraines and shit. And I just remind myself to just say shit happens just over and over again in my brain, like throughout the day.
Right.
And it took about a week, and then afterwards I was just like, yeah, man, shit happens.
You actually believed it.
Chilled,
Yeah,
chilled out a little bit.
Yeah.
It's great.
No, that's
And
good.
yeah, that stuck with me because that was just
That
was a very physical, not physical, but that was a very literal version of me sculpting.
That's it's an actual realization to make that, well, if we were to break it down a bit, shit happens. It's basically like absurdity happens. Like the universe is absurd, and sometimes things equate to this sort of shitty period, but that's not intentional. No one forcefully did that, and it's the only thing you can change about that situation is your attitude. Yeah, I think that's what's behind shit happens, the phrase. Like, it's just move on. Everything that's happening is absurd chance. It's not your fault. It's not their fault. Move on.
It's like you have to take responsibility for your own actions and who you are.
Yes.
But a lot of people take responsibility for
the universe.
The universe, yeah. As in, like, I failed in life because I worked really hard and it still didn't happen, and it was my failure. But it's like, well, there was also a lot of luck involved, and you shouldn't actually feel too hard on yourself for something fucking you up.
And also, they might actually be really good at something by now because they worked hard at it. So being good at something it's definitely its own reward, and what comes from that is that you'll actually start being recognized as being good at that thing, and it's just a snowball from there.
Yeah. Once you, it's probably hard. It's probably harder and less rewarding to be recognized for being good at something before you are happy with just being good at something. You know, like if you learn how to sing, then you just need to walk away thinking, fuck yeah, I can sing. And that's it. That's all. That's you winning. You've just won just by saying that to yourself and being totally happy with that. You didn't need anything else. Then when other people say it, you're like, oh yes, that's just a little bit of extra cherry on the top for me. But I was happy regardless. You know? That's really fucking hard to do though. And I definitely struggle with that a lot. Like I struggle with having, like, if I don't get recognition for my work, it can be really hard to push on and keep working at it, you know?
Yeah, I've experienced that. However, I've removed the other from the equation when it comes to my artistic output. I'll allow, like, if it exists, if reception, if reaction happens to my stuff, I'll observe it and go, oh, that's interesting. But I'm not doing it for that. I'm doing it because I need to do something with myself. Yeah. And I want it to be something that others enjoy. However, I'm at the point where I don't know if I don't think people know what they want. Yeah. So if I give people what they want, it's gonna be like this average sandwich. It's gonna be a really average sandwich, but it's the sandwich they know and love, and they're gonna thank me for it. However, I want to put in front of them this good sandwich. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, I get it.
So they're gonna be like, "Whoa, what is this?" That's what I want.
Yeah.
Good sandwich.
Good example is going into a restaurant. I'm gonna run with this with the food analogy.
Yeah.
Run into a restaurant. You don't go up to the chef and say, "Hey, can you make this dish like this? Can you make me this exact dish? And it's like imagine you've gone into this amazing Thai restaurant and you go in and say, hey, I
And
feel
he
like
spent
a
a
pizza.
lifetime making this kind of food. Yeah.
Like, man, I feel like a fucking pizza. Can you make me a fucking pizza? And then he's like, well, okay, I guess I could try something. And then he makes you this weird version with the ingredients that he's got, and you're like, man, that's not a pizza. I asked for a pizza.
Yeah,
I want this regular old pizza.
Whoever this guy is walking into the restaurant, I fucking hate him. I hate him so much.
Man, he's all of us. This guy is all of us sometimes.
I refuse to associate with this man.
If you walk in and you say, hey man, yeah, okay, well, yes. This person walks in and it says, hey man, you know what?
He sounds like you, man. That's how you.
This is how I go into a restaurant. I
want a pizza.
I want a pizza.
You're a vegan now, aren't you? So.
Yes, I am. Well, I say, hey man, I go into a Dairy Queen, milk bar, and I say, hey man, I want a vegan pizza. And they're like, well, we can't. I don't know what to do. I can make you a milkshake, but I'm like, nah, man, ain't no vegan shit. Anyway, we got this.
Yeah,
doesn't really work in the analogy, but yeah, you go into the place, you don't order the pizza. What you do is you sit your fucking ass down and you go, hey man, you spent your entire life making this amazing Thai cuisine.
Surprise me.
Cook it up.
Surprise me.
And serve it to me. Yeah, surprise me. And then out it comes.
Get surprised.
It's this beautiful noodle dish with hints of zesty, citrusy flavors that kind of tie all these nice savory flavors together. He's got some peanuts in there. There's a bit of fucking sesame flavor from the oil and a bit of sesame seeds for crunch.
Hell yeah.
Bit of lime. And you're like, oh yeah.
Damn, man. Do you know how to do this shit?
I do. I do. I don't know if I can cook Thai, but I like cooking stir fries.
Cool.
I've got it down to 15 minutes from the time I start chopping veggies to the time I'm sitting there eating it. Chop it up, cook it up, 15 minutes flat. Boom.
Oh yeah. Stir fry.
Stir fry, so easy,
Nice.
so cheap. Yep. I probably that meal would probably cost about $5.
Yeah, sick one.
But I spend 10. I feed 2 people.
It's probably cheaper at McDonald's.
Yeah, but I'd probably feel pretty sad afterwards.
I'm just messing with it.
Anyway, so that's the point.
I'm still in that fucking pigeon mindset. I'm stuck as a pigeon.
I've got some more episodes of that coming out.
Yeah, cool. How many have you recorded?
I've got 5 done.
Cool.
So that's another 2.5 weeks in advance, so it should be good.
So you've done have you done 2 with Nikki?
No, I've done 2 with you,
Yeah.
1 with Nikki, 1 with my mate Chris, and 1 with Wade.
Oh yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, it was interesting. On that note, I actually really need to go. I need to go to the toilet. Are you able to hold this conversation for?
Yeah,
a minute while I
sure.
go? Sweet.
Oh,
Keep it
God.
rolling, boy.
Alright.
Bye bye.
Monologue. Whoa. So, a little backstory on Coprolalia. So, copro translates from Latin into shit. And lalia, I believe, translates to talking or... Let's see. Let me just check this shit. Let me just check this copro. It's lovely music. Lalia as a medical term, interesting. Here we go. Speech, there you go. So it's shit speech, if you want to be really literal about it. I have an idea. I've just put some of my artwork on a website called Redbubble. That's redbubble.com/ let's see, wait for it, /people/ Irreverend Giles, IREVERENDGILES. I've got some cool stuff there. Stuff you can buy, and where. This is actually incredibly difficult, just talking. Justin Timberlake announced as Super Bowl halftime performer. Super Bowl L11, which translates to 52, I believe. That's Roman numerals. Let's see. Roman numerals.
I'm back!
Oh, hello. I was
G'day.
choking really hard.
Ah, shit. Where'd you take them?
We were on Roman numerals. I was about to explain how they worked.
Okay, cool.
I won't though. I won't bother. I don't think any. I felt like I lost Greg immediately as you left.
Oh,
I think
shit.
he's only here for you, to be honest. That's what I feel.
So these are early days, and our fans are limited to seemingly one. So once we build more of a fan base, people will pick their favorites. It was a 50-50 chance, him picking you or picking me.
No, he's been following you for a couple years.
This is true. All right, so well, you'll find someone.
Yeah. No. Oh, cheers. I believe it.
If anyone's just tuning in, stalk Giles.
If anyone's been here for a little while, I means 1, V means 5, X means 10, L means 50, C means 100, D means 500, and M is 1,000. And using just those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 letters, you can make up every number. It gets a little ridiculous though, because we all know how high numbers get.
Yeah.
They don't stop. They just keep on.
That's the thing about numbers.
Yeah.
They just don't stop, you know?
They don't stop. They're like people, you know?
They don't stop for nobody.
Oh, no, people do stop. They die. This is where we'd have a word from our sponsor, I think. Just right after I say, yeah, people die.
We should just pick a product and fucking just do it.
Actually, yeah. What kind of what products do you use a lot that you?
Good idea. Let's rep something that we actually like.
Yeah.
All right. Are you looking for a computer that costs ridiculous amounts of money? Have you just got excess amounts of money? Have you just got too fucking much? Well, let me tell you where you can fucking shove it, right? You can shove it right in the fucking screen of a laptop. Right here, I got a brand new Apple Macintosh computer. It cost me $4,000. That's only $4,000.
Wow.
It's about $2,000 more than you should spend on a computer. So buy Apple if you're a fucking idiot like me.
That's a good endorsement. I'm gonna endorse down here in Central Victoria.
Yeah.
I mean up here. I mean,
I'm gonna be a hype man for this. For this ad. Go.
I mean, it depends who we're talking to as to our point on the planet, but in Australia, that's pretty that's pretty specific.
Anyway, get to the ad.
In Central Victoria of Australia.
Yeah.
Down under.
Yeah.
We have lovely wineries and ciders, and I'm gonna recommend the Duck and Bull from Henry of Harcourt.
Oh, you
made
can't
from
go past
100% real apples.
Damn, when they get those apples?
I don't know.
Surely from Harcourt.
Are they like? Do they grow in? Are they an underground thing? Like they, like carrots? Are apples like carrots?
I mean, I've never seen an apple, so I can't really answer.
I've always thought of them as like this red bouncy ball. I had something else to say. Yes,
well,
so I've tested these duck and balls, as Rye will recount.
Oh yeah.
On our morning runs that we used to do. They're a good 3 point. That one at that time was like 3.7 standard drinks.
There were 4.2s at one point.
Oh god, it depends on the harvest, of course.
Yeah. Yep.
But the alcohol volume content, that's about 8.5 or 8.6% alcohol. So that's, you know,
Damn, that's a strong
cider. Yeah. It was a good morning jog. I chugged a big one of them.
Do you remember the days when we would drink 2 Duck and Bull ciders each in the space of maybe the first half of a film? We would get massively drunk, but also super hyper from all the sugar from the cider.
It's almost 8 standard drinks, man. That's nuts.
Yeah, and then we would go off on these massive, wild conversations with each other about the movie we just watched.
Yeah,
those were good times.
Yeah, they were.
So, if you want to be
nothing
profound,
against alcohol.
If you want to be profound like Giles and me, drink Duck and Bull cider. It's it's all right.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's all right.
It's all right.
Drink a cider. It's all right.
This is a great idea. We're just we'll rep products that we like, and eventually, and we'll tag them in it. We'll say we rep them, and then eventually someone will sponsor us.
Brilliant.
I've got one more. Do you need to pay for products that come in? Is the cost in increments?
Do you love buying things?
If the increments are less than $1, then how about you use the 20-cent coin? This is an Australian 20-cent coin. It's minted here in Australia, and it's got a platypus on it. It's good for you can buy things with it. It's got.
Oh, you're repping money itself.
I'm repping money itself. I suggest you use it.
How do people come upon this particular product?
Really quite easy. What you have to do is you have to get a job, and that's unbelievably easy for everybody. All you have to do is go around and you say, "Hey, I'd like a job," and they say, "Great."
Oh, here's your 20-cent coin. You start tomorrow.
They give you 20-cent coin. Yeah. And then that's it. And then you take that 20-cent coin and then you go and give it to somebody else who has a job, and then they give you something, and then it's
You're already on your way to earning a 50-cent coin, and let me tell you, those things are fucking big.
They are big. They're big and powerful.
What do you even call the shape of a 50-cent coin? How many sides is it? It's like a decagon.
Decagon?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Whoa!
12, what the fuck? I'm just lucky enough to have both a 20-cent coin and a 50-cent coin on me. I never knew I was wealthy until right now. 50 cent. No, I'm looking for 12-sided fucking 12-sided shape. What's it called? A dodecagon. I was almost there.
So if you want to buy things and also be insightful like me and Giles, use money and drink alcohol.
God damn. It's summarizing our lives like this. It's putting it all into perspective. I know where it all went wrong now, right?
The alcohol? Or the money?
Yeah, we just didn't have enough jobs.
Fuck. I've never actually had anyone say that to me before. That's
how many jobs you got? Just one.
Yeah.
Get fucked.
Yeah.
No wonder you only have 20-cent coins, you little...
I do actually have I've got a stack of 20-cent coins, 10-cent coins, and 5-cent coins in front of me.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Well, alright. Okay. Mr. Higher tax bracket. Whatever.
Yeah. Oh, I got $1 coin.
Fuck
anyway.
off. Get out of here.
Yeah. Ain't got no 2s though. Not there yet. Maybe once I'm 40 I'll have a $2 coin. Whoa!
Sorry, I dropped the fork.
Jesus. Alright. That's those are our ads for today. Man, what else is going on?
Well, while we're on the topic,
yeah.
Do you reckon I could borrow a couple of 20-cent coins?
You can have. I could give you plenty of 20-cent coins.
Thank you so much, man.
That's alright, man.
I didn't realize how little I had until right now.
You have hope.
Thank you.
And let me tell you, if you someone who needs to not kill yourself, try hope.
That's good. I think that was Obama's campaign slogan.
Stuttering and all. Hey, do you need do you want to not kill yourself? Try hope.
What America needs now is to not kill itself. It needs hope.
I wonder if America's as fucked up as it seems at the moment.
Yeah, totally. Probably even more so.
Oh shit.
That just flowed straight out of me. I believe it wholeheartedly.
Yep.
Yeah, it's fucked.
How do you think Australia is doing from the inside? And we don't know much in terms of politics in Australia.
Considering that my own personal, I don't want to say traumas, but my own personal issues are going to take me most of my life to sort of untangle all of the wires. Can you imagine the greater country, all of the crossed wires and all the tangles? That shit's never been untangled. That's a permatangle.
Well,
sounds like a shape, actually. Permatangle.
Are you saying Australia is permatangled?
I'm sure it relates to all countries, but I think Australia's probably the least tangled of the Western world. Maybe. It's a big fucking maybe.
Yeah, I would say no.
Permatangle isn't a thing. If you want to somehow coin that, go ahead.
Yeah, well, you can coin it. It's your thing.
No, I'm talking to the audience.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. They can take it.
Greg, you cannot have it if you use it with Google. We know you work for Google. If you take that idea and I see it pop up in some sort of Google process, I'm gonna want royalties.
What are you gonna do? You gonna sue Google?
I'm gonna make it so you never see Rye ever again, Greg.
Okay. He's fucking Google, man. I don't know how you can keep me away from him, or keep him away from me.
I didn't realize it was mutual. Have you been following Greg, Rye?
No. He just shows up when I need him.
Do you actually have any mail from Greg? He might have sent it directly to you and not to our joint post box.
Oh, yep. A short little message here. Alright. Just, hey, this is Greg. We're the podcast. Sincerely and always yours, Greg. I find it funny that where the podcast is not spell checked, though I assume he's using a Google account, and he didn't bother. Anyway,
he's probably used to the autocorrect fixing it for him, but Discord doesn't have it. Sorry, I don't mean Discord. I mean handwriting. Fuck.
You're right. This letter here that I hold in my hand does not autocorrect, which is unfortunate.
All right. Here's one for you, Greg. Autocorrect pen.
Do it. Google, get on that shit.
Do it.
Oh, you call it the Google Doodle?
Nah, they'll probably just call it fucking Google Pen. Those uncreative bastards.
Doesn't Apple already have a thing just
actually,
called
no,
Pen?
Google go to some lengths to name shit, don't they? Like, no, they don't.
I don't think so. No,
Google Mail,
Google's one of those.
Google Drive, Google Earth. Yeah, in fact they're really uninventive. So yeah, it'll just be the Google Pen.
Yeah. It's not like it's not like other companies are that inventive either. It has to be easy. Like you can't just name it fucking random shit, whatever. Like Apple's just very much like, obviously the I blah blah blah, you know, or just what's that new thing? The pencil.
Google Pencil.
Apple Watch. Anyway, go on, man, going off. Yeah,
Apple's received enough plugging today.
Yeah, lost the momentum. I
feel like this is a scene in Final Fantasy. We're talking about how some tragic event just happened and sort of reminiscing on the people who we lost in it.
Oh yeah. I've never actually really played any Final Fantasies.
Well, I just summed up every single game.
Fuck. Sorry, I'm just trying. I'm just trying
No,
to
that's
think.
alright. I'm
I'm
equally as responsible to come up with something to talk about.
Yeah. Great for. For all those listening, feel free to just tune out at this point. If we die down, you can just fuck off. I don't give a shit. The first half was great. Recommend the first half to your friends and let them know. First half's great. Maybe turn it off. Once you get through a little bit of it, because it gets a little shit.
Have some bloody confidence, right? Come on, man.
Well, man, this is what I'm talking. This is what we're talking about at the start. It's hard to know what content is. Maybe just this. Maybe this is. But no, I see other people do this all the time in other things. Like one guy I know who does a cartoon or a comic strip every single day, and there was just this little period of time. It was like for a month, where almost every single one he did was basically a comic about him not being able to think of an idea for a comic.
Oh yeah. Is that the Nahoj guy?
Yes.
Yeah, I love him. Yeah, John.
Yeah. Some of his stuff is amazing, but that.
Well, they get meta. He'll like he'll make it so that one panel is handing over a blank piece of paper to another panel, so that like he writes something new for that panel at the end. He does meta stuff. It's really interesting.
Well, okay, maybe I didn't read into it a lot, but yeah.
But yes, he does do those occasional ones. Like, I don't know what the fuck to do today, so
yeah,
here's a picture of something.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. It can be funny. It can be done well, I guess. But you have to be careful when admitting that you don't actually have content or structure. Sometimes it looks like cool. Just because you admit it doesn't make it right. Or like somebody who says like, oh, I didn't prepare, so let's just see how it goes. It's like, yeah, just you admitting that you didn't prepare doesn't make it okay that you didn't prepare. You should prepared.
You're completely like unweaving the whole podcast.
Yeah. Well, we should be critical. We should be critical of our own
self-critical.
work.
Yeah, why not? Self-defeating though. What the hell?
Well, we still keep doing it every week, so you just gotta keep doing it until you figure out what you're gonna do. The worst thing to do is to stop doing it. I saw a video. I think I might have recently spoken about this as well on the podcast, but nonetheless, I would go on in briefly anyway, because I only got 8 minutes left. But yeah, just a video talking about going pro as an artist, and this can be applied to anything. Is like you go pro just when you decide to go pro. It's not about making money or being super professional.
It's when your work ethic becomes professional, I guess.
Yeah, it's just the day you decide that, like, you know what, I don't feel like it, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Or I'm not feeling inspired. I don't have any ideas, but I'm gonna have to start doing it anyway. So I guess, like, for that, if you were a writer, you just start writing. You don't know what you're writing about. You just start like, okay, there's a bowl of fruit sitting in front of me, and what does the bowl represent? It represents my life. It's vibrant, full of color, but it slowly starts degrading and going moldy and decomposing. But out of that spawns new life eventually, and insects come in and carry it off and take it away, and they take that life and it influences other lives, other bowls of fruit.
Excellent.
There you go. See?
I think I might take that little soundbite and turn it into a motivational talk. The music over the background just made it perfect.
Yeah, but that's a good example of not having an idea. You just start, and then you have to do something with it. Anyway, I mean, this is what I'm doing. Is I don't have any ideas what we're going to talk about for the last 10 minutes. But if I stop talking, then we don't have content.
Yeah, then
but
we
if I keep
then
talking,
we lose.
You got some goddamn content.
Win.
I just open my mouth and it outspills content.
Yeah, just like the Coprolalia logo.
Exactly. And not to be self-defeatist, because I think this has been a pretty good episode. So I'm going to give myself a little pat on the back for being unprepared and for spilling some bullshit out of my face
Good on you,
into
Ryan.
into your lap. And Giles,
Give yourself.
you've done the same.
Oh, cheers. I'll pat
you,
myself.
you even kept the show going in my absence. That's a
Barely.
whole nother...
I immediately told everyone to go to Redbubble and buy my shit.
Oh yeah, I saw that. That's pretty exciting.
Yeah,
All right,
I've already got a phone wallet.
Last 5 minutes. What are you up to? Explain what you're up to lately.
All right, so I'm trying to set myself up a schedule where I've always got something I'm working on. I'll be doing my Irreverent Giles paintings. I'll be doing this podcast weekly. And with Joel, I'll be doing streaming drawings with him where we both paint on the same canvas. Rye is also invited. And actually, Greg, if you're out there, you can come and join us if you want. Yeah, Joel and I, we're fine with anyone joining us if they have a tablet and they want to do that. Yep.
Cool. Where can you find those things?
Yeah, alright, so there's no Coprolalia Facebook page yet. That's an idea, we could work on that. However, there is an Astro Lounge 95 page, Astro Lounge 95, and Irreverent Giles Facebook page. Those are both ways you can find my shit and Joel's shit. And
awesome.
Astro Lounge 95 is also a YouTube page where it has our streams and our gameplay.
And that is Astro Lounge with no spaces, no nothing. Just
no. Astro Lounge 95. No nothing. And
cool.
I went to the effort. Joel and I played probably like 3 hours of Cuphead. And I've edited the first hour, but I did it quite meticulously. Like I went from beat to beat. So it's not like an hour of bullshit. It's 11 minutes of good shit.
Excellent.
And there's a really, really distasteful Vietnam War I want to say like association. I basically, this guy came up to me from at the pub. I just played at the open mic night. And he said, "Oh, you're really into 60s music." And I said, "Yes, I am." And then he said, "Did you know that the favorite song of the Vietnam War was the song called 'We Gotta Get Out of This Place' by the Animals?" And I was like, "I didn't know that." And that seems like a really random thing to just know for sure.
Yeah.
But anyway, I've put that song over our airplane battles with one of the really tough bosses
nice.
intercut with some footage from Vietnam.
Oh, and shit. I look forward to it.
It's perfectly distasteful.
I'm going to watch that once we finish up on this podcast.
Yes.
Cool.
I wish I could watch it with you. It's I want to see the reaction. In fact,
I'll do a reaction video.
We'll discuss it. Yes.
All right, I'll do a reaction video to it in a second. And I'll upload that onto Wrath's YouTube channel. There you go.
Yeah, do it. It's a really good idea. This is for all the creators out there. It's such a good idea to have a channel available where you put whatever shit you want. Yep. Don't promise your audience anything. Just do whatever you want. Yep. It'll mean that if you aren't in the mood for creating within a box, you can just create whatever you want, get it out, and then you can return to the box later.
Yep. It's quite nice because I've got my IC pigeons. This is how I'll roll into what I'm up to. Because I've got my IC pigeons, and that's got a very strong theme where I do daily. I do 3 times a week. I do cartoons on Instagram. Just search IC pigeons, all one word.
Icy pigeons, as in frozen pigeons, like ICY.
No, as in eyewitness pigeons, IC pigeons.
Oh, okay, yeah. Just a little bit of linguistic confusion there.
Yeah. Then there's also a channel for IC pigeons on YouTube. Again, just search IC pigeons, where you will see me interviewing my friends about the topics we talk about in the cartoons, and that's it. It's smooth jazz and heavy topics.
Rough topics. Smooth jazz and rough topics.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah,
Smooth jazz and rough topics. That's a fucking good tagline. Yes. All right, that's the new tagline for IC Pigeons.
It's all yours.
But yeah, it's nice having that, which is really strongly themed, so it's nice and easy to kind of to think about how I'm going to approach it. And with Wrath, it's becoming more and more just like do what the fuck I want with my cartoons. And now, good idea, I'm going to do what the fuck I want with my YouTube channel as well.
Yeah.
Which is all my music's up on my YouTube channel, but I'll also stick some other random shit.
Fuck
Cool.
yeah.
That's it. 5 o'clock. We're done. Check us out. Check yourself out.
See you later, boys and girls, brethren and sistren.
Bye.
Bye.